Hey, what's up, all you members of the Restoration out there? I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and I'm coming at you with another Sonic the Hedgehog by IDW comic review. This time it's issue number 31, titled Cured, Part 2. In the wake of the destruction of the metal virus, Sonic has gone missing, but our friends are trying to keep their spirits up because they have managed to survive yet another Eggman induced crisis. So they're doing their best to once again put the pieces back together, but Eggman's shadow still continues to loom large. Let's jump in as we pick up in Blaze's world, where Sonic had crash landed at the end of last issue. However, there seems to be a bit of an issue. Sonic doesn't remember who he is. He remembers nothing about the hero known as Sonic the Hedgehog. In fact, he even mentions that some little girl he met along the way called him Mr. Needlemouse at one point, a reference to his original name, Mr. Needlemouse. But this greatly worries Blaze, as she wonders how this could have happened. Why did Sonic gain this amnesia? What could have possibly done this to him? Being caught in an explosion of an unknown warping entity could kind of do the trick. Yeah, just a little bit. Meanwhile, Aimee is once again bogged down in paperwork for the whole restoration. Once again, she's back in charge, and once again, she's in over her head. There's too much to do, and she misses the old days of just chasing down Sonic. Simpler times and all that good stuff. But a great deal of help and someone to pass the work off to comes in the form of Jewel the Beetle. Now, Jewel received word from Tangle that there was a position that required organization and, just being in charge, being a leader, helping to set things right. And that's Jewel's whole MO. So she will take over duties as leader of the restoration in Aimee's stead. Although, unlike Knuckles, Aimee actually intends to help get Jewel up to speed for the most part. It's a tough situation, but hey, I doubt Jewel would have signed up for this if she wasn't interested. And can I just say, I love Adam Bryce Thomas's artwork in this issue. Like back in the day, during the time of the Archie Sonic comic, the lead artist, the really good artist in that, when you really wanted to make an issue pop, that was Patrick Spazzanati, or Spaz for short. He did incredible artwork. The level of detail, how he could make the characters pop, the expressions that they could give. His work was impeccable, and he had this great ability to mimic styles. Um, Adam isn't quite on that level, but his artwork just pops so well. His depth, his scene layout, the expressions he gives to the characters, his line work, it is phenomenal. And it helps that we have such an amazing, inking and coloring team behind it. But, a great artist with some good ink and color work behind it, it's chef kiss. It's beautiful. And Adam Bryce Thomas brings that A game time after time. I will always compliment his artwork because that is something that I could only wish I had a monochrome of his talent when it comes to this. Beautiful, beautiful. But we continue on seeing how everybody else is doing. We see that Tails and Tangle are helping out Rough and Tumble, who, last we saw, they ended up trapped at the bottom of a shaft. They were the first to be infected with the metal virus. They were the test subjects. But they end up being helped out, and they're kind of given a bit of a free pass. It's just like, look, Sonic saved the world. You were subjected to Eggman's machinations. We're giving you one free pass. Don't do anything bad. Maybe you could even help us out. Rough and Tumble promptly laughed in their face and go on to do bad things. So, I love Tangle and Tails' faces, where she's just like, they'll be back in jail by the end of the day. And Tails is just like, as if they don't get lost in the mines, which they promptly do. They straight up get lost in the mines. But Tangle and Tails have a little bit of a moment where she questions how Tails is holding up in the wake of losing Sonic, because that was a big thing in Sonic Forces. Tails' utter just breakdown at the loss of Sonic. But here we're actually seeing him trying to put on a brave face. He's trying to be courageous. He's trying to just believe that Sonic will be back. And Tangle is so hyped by this. She's just like, okay, you know what? We're throwing a party. My place tonight. Invite everyone. We're just having a celebration to just honor the fact that we have won the day. And I love Tangle. I love this little cutie. It's the greatest. Silver, meanwhile, returns to his future, and his future's looking so bright he's gotta wear shades, baby. The future is safe and sound, and well, we'll see you next crisis, Silver, because your future can never stay, perfectly fine. Like, people make jokes about how Trunks' future is always in peril. Not quite. Like, Silver's future is constantly in peril. Like, there's always something going wrong. We also pick up with Eggman, who, for some reason, puts back E123 Omega. And it's just like, okay, I get it. You're using him to power this device because it's just like, oh, he's one of their friends. You're using him as a hostage. I get that. But dude, E123 Omega is a killer robot, and specifically a killer robot who wants to kill you, Dr. Eggman. What are you thinking? You're gonna put him on this massive robot body to power it in order to just, use him? No, this will not end well. Like, first chance Omega gets, he's gonna put a bullet in Eggman's brain. We'll never see that happen, but if he gets the chance, he will. But that's Eggman's plan, and he's kind of in a rush because he gets a rundown of everything that's going on. All you get to see a preview of um, a few projects he has in the pipeline, the giant Omega mech, as well as what looks like another Death Egg. He gets information on where the Zeti are. He knows that since they're in the mix, that's a liability. He wants to try to work around, but he also wants to get around the whole situation with Sonic. Strike while Sonic is not around. But he also gets questioned by Orbot about Starline, because it's just like, where is he? Eggman doesn't know. He knows he sent him through a portal, but Starline is out there, and he could be doing anything. And we find out Starline's basically still a fanboy of Eggman, but he wants to prove that he can do Eggman's job better, that he can do the evil thing better than Eggman. And he wants to put Eggman on the throne, but as equals. And man, Starline, you are barking up the wrong tree. That is not Eggman. That's not how he operates. You've worked with this man now. You should know better. But he's just so caught up in his admiration that he still believes that he can make this work. And he's in for a rude awakening. Meanwhile, the Chaotix Detective Agency is bogged down with work. Missing persons cases out the wazoo. They're just so backed up with work they can't even actually begin to do the work. They're visited by cream, cheese, chocola, vanilla, General, who bring them a little bit of a snack with everything that's been going on. But, we even have this little bit of a moment between Vector and Vanilla, which has been hinted to primarily in the Sonic X series, but certain other media has kind of hinted to this, specifically the Sonic X comic. Ian Flynn wrote those, a little bit of those as well, but you know, this little bit of a moment between them is super cute and charming. Like Vector straight up trying to be Cream's stepdad, but they're interrupted by more work. But I love this scene because Vanilla starts just dishing out orders, tells General to help sort through all the missing persons. Um, has cheese and chocola, you know, organize the files, and has Cream, handle the calls and update the chaotics as things go. And I love this thing where Vanilla just sits on Vector's desk, like, yes, that pushes a specific button for me, and I know it did for a lot of other people too. But she lets them have a moment to go out and do their thing. And I love this. I love this. It's such a charming moment. The Chaotic Detective Agency are on the case. It's great. But we also have this moment with Rouge and Shadow. And again, the artwork here is phenomenal. The coloring is phenomenal. It's so, so good. It's so fantastic. Because, Rouge was trying to track down Shadow, who up and disappeared after everything went down. She gives them an update of the whole situation, how they haven't found Sonic and they haven't found Omega, but Shadow's just kind of lost in his own world. And that's because, last we saw Shadow, he was so caught up in his own hubris, thinking that he would be able to take on the metal virus, he would be fine. But, Sonic made the right call. He told Shadow to run, and Shadow made the bad decision. And it's just like, I owe Sonic because of this. And he's gone. That's it. So he's just kind of stuck on this. Like, he owes Sonic big time for this, and it doesn't sit right with him. Knowing that Sonic was right, knowing that he should have listened to Sonic, that he failed, that he almost cost them the whole world because of his hubris, I love this moment. I love this moment between Rouge and Shadow because it's just A plus writing. Sega has put a mandate down on Ian about how he needs to write Shadow, but this just goes to show that good writing is always going to shine through, and this kind of character development is spot on. It's fantastic. So we switch over to the big party. I'm loving this scene. It's fantastic. Everyone's having a grand old time. Rouge is also trying to break into Jules' store, so that might be something to worry about in the future. But we also have this moment where Jet is kind of like, I help save the world too. And then, the rest of the Babylon Rose are just like, well, being heroes, it has its perks. So they're enjoying themselves at least. But, of course, Jet's too far up his own butt in order to actually just have a good time. Meanwhile, Whisper is kind of on the defensive because the Babylon Rogues, last time they were here, they tried to rob Jewel's store. So she's ready to just take him out, but, we have this cute little moment between Tangle and Whisper, which kind of hints to something deeper, as, the way Tangle calls Whisper her girl, and how Whisper listens to her, and we get her tail wagging back and forth as she gets all close to her and stuff like that. It's adorable. It's super adorable, and it's just like, that's very interesting. That's some interesting stuff right there. But this moment is interrupted as the party crasher has arrived, namely Dr. Eggman, in one big boy of a mech. He's here to ruin the day. Oof, what a nice ending. Like, ooh, what a great follow up issue. So good. Ooh, that art was fantastic. The character development, the moments between characters, just so good. Man, I love this issue. Nothing of importance really happened, but it was just a feel good issue. I just enjoyed having these characters interact and just, talk. I love having these characters just talk to each other. It does wonders to just develop them as people. And that's always where Ian Flynn's writing shines through. Just making these characters believable. But tell me your feelings in the comment section below. What was your favorite part of this issue? Or would you have preferred it to be more action packed? It was just kind of transitioning into the next story of the series, but it was fun. I loved it. Not every issue has to be action, but we'll get that next issue. So, are you looking forward to me reviewing it? I hope you are, and I hope you'll join me by subscribing and hitting the bell icon. That way you never miss out on another Sonic the Hedgehog comic review. And if you like this video, leave me a like. If you didn't, feel free to leave me a dislike, and I will catch you in the next video. Until then, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I will see you later. Bye-bye!